This forecast is powered by East Coast Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Trust us with your family at home.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's Monday. It is always good to see you bright and early. Today it is bright. We've got a lot of sunshine out there, basically a continuation of what we saw over the weekend. You know, plenty of blue skies out there yesterday. Temperatures were very warm in the 50s. Today we kind of reel it back in a bit as we'll only be topping out in the, I'd say, upper 30s at best. Maybe 40 degrees if you're lucky. But, you know, we'll get to a spot where we are consistently warm. Temperatures aren't going to be bad this week at all. I think lower 50s by the weekend. We shoot into the 60s. But does that mean winter is over officially? Well, meteorologically speaking, yes. Today is the final day of winter. Spring begins tomorrow on March 1st, but obviously astronomical winter doesn't start until the 20th, so we still got another 3 weeks on that. But I do see another potential expansion or an elongation of the polar vortex by the end of next week. So I don't believe the forecast is firm in any one direction. We're going to have to take it day by day, which kind of stinks, honestly. You know, you like knowing exactly what is going to be playing out, but this winter season as a whole, we have been so all over the place that it's hard to grip anything beyond 4 or 5 days out. The Matt and Julian oscillation, I'm going to pull this up on the screen just to give you an idea of some of the stuff that I look at here. And look at this. It was in the cold phase 2 and 3 for the past couple weeks, okay? We've had a couple cold days here or there. It didn't really impact things too, strongly. Now it looks to go into the circle of death, which means that there is no impact from the MJO on the overall pattern. But it kind of wants to put it back into phases 1 or 2 in another week or two. So the point of trying to make here, these are your cold phases, 8, 1, 2, and 3 this time of the year. So this part of the square or this triangle, that is where your cold weather comes from. So the question is, how much back and forth are we going to have? And I wish I could tell you with 100% certainty, yeah, this is what we are thinking, but I can't. So again, we're going to have to take it short increments at a time. And that's usually not how I like to operate. I like to have a much better idea, but what can you do? Mother Nature is going to have the last laugh. And I still think that there's, even with the pattern coming our way, with the 500 millibar pattern evolving for the second week of March, I still think that there's winter storm opportunities in the pipeline. Good morning, Charlene. Good morning, Karen and Rochelle. I will call you right after this broadcast. Susan, Mary, good morning, Amanda, Renee, and Barbara, and Dennis, and Donna. Good morning, Michelle, and Sherry, and Linda, Susan, Taisha. Thank you all for joining me. Oh, before we get started, I want to show you something that is really cool. I am working on this. New maps are going to be released next week. I am trying to break down my forecast zones as I'm expanding into Southeast Pennsylvania, Central Jersey, Delaware, and all. But I'm going to make it easier for people to kind of see their towns and whatnot. So this is the base map. That's the same base map I've always used. But watch this. The regions raise, and now I'm going to have this little box around the temperature and the conditions so you can see more easily. And then we're going to be zooming around into different parts of the area. And this is all going to be on my website. It's going to be reflected in my forecast videos as well. So super excited about that. This is the stuff I'm able to come up with now that I'm taking weekends off and my tie is crooked, it looks. Why did anybody tell me that? I'm watching you. But yeah, with the weekends free, my brain never stops. So I'm always going. Sat down last night and I kind of hammered out these new graphics, and a whole bunch of new stuff is coming at you, so stay tuned for that. I also decided on Friday that I am going to, it's kind of last minute this year. Next year, I'll actually pick a university or a college to work with, but I want to do the Nor'easter Nick Broadcast Scholarship. I'm going to be offering 2 $1,000 scholarships to students across the area, and I'm going to have the criteria and what you need to do to apply issued this week. I just got to go over some of the details. But look, I want to pay it forward. I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together when I was younger, in high school, getting ready for the next chapter. So I want to do my best since, I am in the position to be able to do it. I want to help other people. So I think that the scholarship program is going to be something that a lot of people like, and it's going to be specifically geared towards students that are going to pursue a career in broadcast. And it's not even just broadcast meteorology. I mean, I will look at those applicants a little closer, but I want to be fair and open it up to everybody that has an interest in broadcast overall. All right, let's get on over to our Inn at Sugar Hill camera overlooking the Great Egg Harbor River. It is such a beautiful shot. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, look at how pretty things are right out there. We have the sun that is bouncing off of that calm river. We have the traffic move along ever so slightly. 27 degrees right now, a dew point of 13 and a northwest wind at 5 miles an hour. 27 in Atlantic City, 31 in Philly, 28 in Richmond, 26 in Charleston, 26 in Cleveland. So yeah, we have a universal, consistent air mass across the entire mid-Atlantic, a little colder to the north. I mean, Syracuse coming in at 10 degrees. High pressure is the dominant force behind our weather today. By tomorrow, a few more clouds are going to be moving in as a warm front decides to come in from southwest to northeast, and that could even spark a couple showers here or there. 28 Mount Holly in Manchester, 28 in Chemung, 27 in Warminster, 29 in Media, 29 in Glassboro, and 28 in Hamilton. If you look closely, you see a couple radar echoes here. You might get a couple flurries in your sky. Nothing organized though. 30 in Atlantic City, 29 in Mays Landing, 31 in Millville, down in Stone Harbor, 33 in Cape May. Speaking of Stone Harbor, I think it is not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. I got to check my date. But I will be hosting the Polar Bear Plunge. I think it's called the Stone Harbor Shiver in Stone Harbor. I love the borough. I have a great relationship with the city officials, and I'm looking forward to being on the beach. And yes, I am committing right now, I will be jumping into that 40-something degree water, okay? So come down and watch that happen. That should be a sight. 29 in Asbury Park, 30 in Barnegat, 28 in the Freehold area, and 28 in Manchester right now. Doppler radar outside of maybe a passing flurry. Very, very isolated. We are dry. You got to go all the way up into the UP of Michigan or out in Seattle. Pacific Northwest is getting beat up by... I was on the interwebs yesterday, and I'm searching through all kinds of stuff, and I see this this news article pop up. A Category 4 atmospheric river is punishing the Pacific Northwest. What the heck is that? I've never heard that term before, and I've been doing this a long time. It looks like it's just rain to me. I think the folks out there are going to be all right, just heavy rain. Plenty of sunshine here back at home. We don't have to worry about any rain. The temperatures are going to be on the rise, and the cold isn't done yet. It may appear that way with temperatures in the upper 50s. I think we get to 60 or better for a few days, even into early next week. But if that polar vortex elongates a little bit, then yeah, I think we set the conditions for shots of cold air. And look, I've been very consistent with this idea that March is going to be volatile. We are going to go back and forth, and that's just basing my theory off of the climatological norm for the month of March. That's it. I don't have any kind of crystal ball that I'm looking into, but historically speaking, we do go back and forth. And like I said, today is the last day of winter. When you look at the winter season as a whole, even though we have had some pretty cold days, we are wrapping things up above normal. And that was the forecast back in November. We're going to end about 2 degrees above normal. And you can thank December for that, since we were about 6 degrees above normal, believe it or not. And we got our above normal snowfall. So I'm happy with the winter forecast as a whole. Right along the I-95 corridor, I know, Zach, if you're on here, you're still a few inches shy of your average. But for most of South Jersey, the winter worked out very, very well. By this afternoon, we're going to be in the low and mid 30s, plenty of sunshine, nothing showing up on our Futurecast satellite and radar here, which is great. And then tomorrow, clouds will increase, maybe a spritz or sprinkle as the warm front advances, and that's going to set the stage for warmer temperatures down the pipeline. So for today, about 38, as warm as things are going to get. Crystal clear, sunny skies, a wonderful looking day. If you plan on walking your dog or being outside for an extended period of time, you're going to want to put layers on. Winds aren't bad, but you might get some gusts over 15 miles an hour. It's really not an issue whatsoever. So I think we remain calm for the next few days. Going into Tuesday afternoon, you might spike those readings into the 20-mile-an-hour range. But I think, every week we've had some kind of system coming through giving us 50-mile-an-hour winds. I think the 20s are okay. 24 tonight for an actual overnight low. East to southeast winds at just a couple miles an hour. And tomorrow we start off partly sunny. Clouds and sun will mix a little bit heavier in the afternoon. Warmer, 53 mainland, 48 at the beaches, because obviously your ocean water temperature is much cooler. So the islands, it's a typical late winter, early spring impact. It takes a long time to warm up a body of water, all right? That's why those temperatures lag, and it doesn't get warm until June or July, honestly, in our neck of the woods. Look at all this red. This is the next 6 to 10 days. And I think that there will be some days that are running over 10 degrees above normal with the cold displaced out over the Pacific Northwest. But if we look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, notice how the warmth kind of retreats, the cold expands, and I think this is the Climate Prediction Center picking up on this idea that, yes, the polar vortex could split or it could elongate a little bit into the lower 48. So obviously we will keep our eyes peeled on that. Okay, so generally speaking, we are going to be in the lower 50s. I see us at 51 on Wednesday is going to be a magnificent day. We've got 58 degrees, 51 on Thursday, down into the 40s, so we do step back a little bit on Friday, 42 degrees, 52 on Saturday. And then look at that Sunday. I'm hoping to kind of squeeze out that rain chance there. 40% chance of some scattered showers there, but 65. Got to work on the timing of any potential wet weather back into the 50s. And I think we see the pendulum swing in the opposite direction as we go into next week at some point. So that's what I got for you guys. It's a boring pattern. For me, it's going to be an easy week. I mean, not really. It's going to be a harder week. Easy because I don't have to commit a whole lot of time to what I'm doing, but it's hard because I do 6 videos a day and I have to talk about how nice it is 6 times in a row differently, I always tell people when they ask, what the hardest aspect of my job is, it's when there's sunny skies and there's nothing going on. Really, because I have so much time to fill, what could you possibly talk about? When there's storms and the threat of storms, it's easy. The content is just all over the place. But that's that. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nick Pittman TV. And again, big things happening with my website, different regions for forecasting, and email subscription service is going to be coming out. So big things I have planned. And of course, I'm still writing my book. I'm all over the place. I need these weekends off. So I think I made the right decision in hiring Bobby Clark. You guys seem to like him, so that's good. Bobby's a good guy, and I'm glad he's part of the team. Have a great day. We'll chat a little later.